Hey guys, how's it going? So in my last video, I told you guys to write in the comments a bunch of questions like what would I do if, and then a situation and stuff. And there's like insane amount of comments. So in this video, I'm gonna reply to some of them. So sadly, well not sadly, but there was so many comments that I'm not gonna be able to answer each one individually. So what I did is I picked like the ones that I thought were the best or the funniest, and I'm just gonna answer those. So I wrote down 15, and those are my favorite. I may have modified them a little bit so that they're more understandable. So here goes nothing. Boop, boop. Okay. First question. What would you do if you couldn't surf again? Well, if I couldn't surf again, then I'd probably turn into a skater, and I'd do lots of vlogs and adventures, and I just wouldn't be able to surf. So that's that. Number 2. Well, I'm not going to say the numbers. I'm just going to go next. What would you do if you got stranded on an island? So this is kind of, it depends. So if I got stranded on an island when there was coconut trees, obviously I'd get lots of coconuts. But if there wasn't coconut trees, I'd have to look for a different way of food, maybe trying to catch some fish or something. So if it depends what kind of island. So if it was like a normal island where there's trees and stuff, then I would probably be able to survive with coconuts and stuff. And I would survive until I could get help and stuff and get out of there. Next one. What would you do if no one commented on your videos? So if no one commented on my videos, I probably would have like totally quit YouTube after like 2 videos. There's no way I would have made it to over 100 videos. Like no way ever if no one commented. I feel like thanks to you guys, if you guys didn't comment, I would like quit YouTube. But thanks to you guys, since you guys comment, it's motivated me to make lots of videos. So thanks to you guys are awesome. Next one. What would you do if you were the only one in the USA and there was nobody else? So if I was the only one in the USA, then I'd probably come back to Costa Rica so I could be around people, because I like people. I don't like being alone, no. I'd come back to Costa Rica. I probably wouldn't stay in the USA alone. Maybe I'd go surf like California a few times, but then I'd come back down to Costa Rica, yeah. Next, what would you do if you won the What would you do if you won the WSL? Well, if I won the WSL, then probably while they were interviewing me, I'd be like, "Go check out Kid Prepper! Yeah, that's my channel. It's an awesome channel." And then I would get a bunch of subscribers and a bunch of followers. So that's probably what I would do. And I'd also celebrate, and I'd probably go win another one. What would you do if you had to survive and you could only take 3 items? So this is a tricky one because it depends on where it is. So if I was in like cold weather or in the jungle like here or on an island, or it depends. But let's say for here in the jungle, I would probably pick stainless steel or titanium canteen. Maybe a fire starter for shields, fire starter for sure. Maybe like a flint steel or whatever. And the third one, a knife. Or maybe in the jungle, I'd probably pick like a smaller sized machete because that's more useful. Next, what would you do if you had to choose 5 countries to surf in for the rest of your life? So 5 countries, I'd probably pick Costa Rica for sure. The US, so if Hawaii is part of the US, that means I get to surf in Hawaii as well. So Hawaii, US, Australia, Indo, and we'll just go with Portugal. So I'm sure if I surfed every surf spot on the planet, I'd probably pick some different places. But from the places that I know of and how the waves seem and stuff, I'd probably pick those places, those 5. And I'd surf every day. What would you do if the waves just stopped? So if the waves just stopped, I'd probably cry for a few days. I'd be like, "Waves, come back on, please. I want to surf really bad." But then I'd get over it, and then I would turn into a skater and do vlogs and adventure and stuff. And then sadly, I wouldn't be able to surf, but I would be able to skate still and adventure. So it wouldn't be good, but I would survive. If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what food would it be? So this question was asked like this. So you got to be more specific, because if you mean like a specific food, like of one fruit or something, then it's not this what I'm going to pick. But if it's something that's like a meal kind of, then I'd probably pick sushi. I love sushi, and sushi has all the stuff you need. It has protein, it has vegetables, it has rice, it has seaweed. And yeah, it's got all the stuff you need. So if I could only choose one, I would pick sushi. But if it had to be one thing, like a fruit or vegetable or something, I would pick a coconut. So either sushi or coconut. What would you do if you got offered a sponsorship, but to get sponsored and be on the surf team, you would have to leave your family and move to somewhere else? So I'd probably say, nah, I don't want to get sponsored. I'd rather stay with my family because I want to have control of my I don't want to get paid just because of this sponsorship. I'd rather have my own business. That's why I have my YouTube channel, I have my website, and I'd rather have control of my own destiny. Yeah. Next one. Okay, this one's a little funny. Would you rather only surf a 200-foot wave or only surf a 1-foot wave? So either a 1-foot wave or 200-foot wave. I'm gonna say 200-foot wave because I would go surf the 200-foot wave, make a new world record, be super famous, and then I might not surf too much after I make the new world record. I'd probably maybe go be a skater. You still be a YouTuber, but I might not surf too much because the waves are always 200 feet. What would you do if the power went out forever? So if the power went out forever, at least I'd be prepared. I'd go to my bug out bag. I'd probably get a knife out. I'd probably go get some coconuts, and I would probably make a fire, and I would survive as well as me and my family, and I'd probably help some people. But yeah, if the electricity went out forever, I would survive. Obviously, I'm gonna survive. What would you do if there was a zombie apocalypse and you could only pick 5 items? So if there was a zombie apocalypse and I could only pick 5 items, maybe I'd pick a machete, a canteen, a fire starter. It's that if I pick a gun, it's gonna run out of ammo, so I'm not gonna pick a gun. I'd pick a hammock and maybe like a tank. I just to hang out in the tank. No, I wouldn't pick a tank. I'd pick maybe something like, I don't know. The 5th one would be some kind of weapon. It could be a baseball bat or an axe or some sort of another weapon. Some sort of another weapon. That's what the 5th thing would be. And I would survive from the zombies. What would you do if you could be a professional at any sport, but it couldn't be surfing or skating? So I'd probably be a professional. Maybe I'd pick poker because you get paid lots of money for poker if you're like the best and you always win. Or maybe like football because you do get paid a lot for football. So either football or poker. Both get paid quite a bit. Either one of those two. What would you do if you were surviving, you're out in the wilderness, and you lost all your gear? So if I was like surviving, everything was going good, and then I had my backpack on, my backpack on, and I put it down, and I walked away, and I forgot where it was, and I lost it. Well, then I would freak out, and I'd freak out for a little, and then I'd go look for it, and then once I found it, I'd freak out, and then I'd go look for it, and then since I lost it, I probably wouldn't find it, and then I would have to survive, I guess, using natural materials. So I'd probably try to make some sort of something. I'd break some rocks to get something sharp, like to work like a knife. I'd start a fire. I would try to get a fire going, and I would have to make do with stuff from nature. So I'd try to make cordage, get coconuts and stuff. But yeah, I'd have to survive. But yeah, I would survive. However, I would survive without my gear. That's one of the things. I'd have my knowledge. I got my knowledge still. At least I wouldn't lose my knowledge. Even without my pack, I still have my knowledge, so I can still survive. Booyah. Okay, so yeah, those are the 15 questions for this, answering the last video like I said I would do. Hope you enjoyed. Hope your question got answered in one of these 15 questions. These were the 15. There was tons of questions that were repeated, so I wasn't going to answer like the same question 5 times because it was different people asked it. So I just did it like this. Seemed to work just fine. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for all the support. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video.